सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरम तम गोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुं प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. So in the last class, in the verse number 138, we saw a beautiful example, little bit different, because all the time we were listening what? Considering rope as snake. And of course shouting and getting stick. And finally you start laughing at each other, scolding each other. Hey stupid, you don't see properly. You understand? So that was only this example all the time. Now the person listening to Vedanta, this rope and snake, sees the real snake, okay? Now considers, hey, after all it is a rope, that too such a smooth rope, that too very strong, I can use it, and that too, I'll tell you another beautiful way also. It's very colorful. So when I say colorful, generally poisonous snakes are colorful, okay? In between there will be patches, okay? Wow, such a beautiful colorful rope. So I can tie down in such a way, it will be very nice. Imagine what will happen. So also, this mistaking the non-self as self, understanding unreal as real, that only creates bondage. How? Again it goes further. Let's look at अखंड नित्या द्वयबोध सत्या स्फुरन्तमात्मानमनन्त वैभवम् समावृणोत्यावृति शक्तिरेषा तमोमयि राहुरिवार्कबिम्बम्. Very nice way of looking at it. So here example comes how this ignorance has got this veiling power, covering power. Even though the self is eternal and has got Ananta Vaibhava, infinite glories, and of course Spurantam, it ever shining, Akhanda, indivisible, Nitya, eternal, Advaya, without any second. In spite of all these things, remember this Abruti Sakti Sama Brunoti iti. And what is that? Tamomayi iti. The nature of tamas called ignorance, which is in the form of called Abrunoti Sakti, veiling, covering power. It has got power to cover. How is it possible? You may ask the question. So the example is being given, Rahu Iba or Kabimba. So how the Rahu, there is a planet called Rahu, we call, very nicely, okay? Rahu and Ketu. The story goes about them is, because when this Samudra Manthanam, churning the ocean took place, the main target was to get the Amrutam, nectar. This story goes, okay? And of course in the story there is a lot of values and lot of things also there. And finally, as usual, all the gods, they could manage with the help of Vishnu, Mohini, that's another a lady who had to come to rescue them. Then finally, all the gods got the nectar. But in that queue, one demon got in. Okay? He understood there is something wrong. Let me go and stand in that queue so that I will get it. And of course, when it was being distributed, already he has taken, that time came to know, oh, this fellow has already taken. Then what they did is, of course, Lord Vishnu sent the Sudarshana Chakra, the disc, cut his head. That's why Rahu and Ketu, okay? So, what do you call in your English? I am not very bad, okay? In English I am going up, okay? Okay, whatever in English, okay? you people find out, okay? Rahu and Ketu. So, so what happened is, now they became two planets and they continued. So it is being believed. So Rahu is covering the sun during solar eclipse. So the concept is here, let us not get into that. Sun is ever effulgent. It always exists. Single point of reference of power, light and energy. And of course, always they are Nitya, you can say eternal, according to us, at least eyes. Advaya, in spite of everything, during eclipse time, poor sun is covered. Not only it is covered, this is the point to be observed. That's why we bring the Rahu word here. We don't bring this earth came in between and all these things. Say the moon comes in between. We don't think of this. But we say very carefully, Rahu. Why? Because during that time, the atmosphere is not auspicious. During eclipse time, atmosphere is not auspicious. That's why during eclipse time, no animal barks, including dog. They get scared. The cats, you can look at, observe the cats and dogs if you cannot observe any other thing, okay? Everybody gets scared, they hide. So, interestingly, to bring out that this time is not auspicious, we bring the concept of Rahu, nothing else, okay? Not that Rahu comes and sallows the sun, okay? It's not like that. Then after that, religious. It's not possible, which is not acceptable either. However, how it can happen, even though sun exists, let us say moon, which is getting the light, and the existence of moon depends upon completely solar energy, solar orb. The moon is because of the sun. In spite of that, moon is able to cover the sun. Can you see this point? As it happens, so also me, who is Akhanda Swarupa, indivisible, cannot be divided, Nityaha, eternal, Advayaha, one without second. Now what happens? Now this me, what happens? Ananta Vaibhavam, of course with infinite glories. It gets covered with what? Tamamayi, Esa Tamamayi Abhriti Saktihi. Being covered by this veiling power of this tamas. And of course, I am not visible at all. So that means this tama guna has got that strength. It covers me as though for some time. Even the sun continues. Okay, then you say, how is it possible? It doesn't look nice. But don't you think there are different entities, different ways? How can you say? Okay, gives another example. One after another example it goes. Okay. Tiro bhute swatmanyamala tarate jivati puman. Anatmanam mohadahamiti shariram kalayate. ततः काम क्रोध प्रभृति भीरमुं बंधन गुणैः परम विक्षेपाख्य रजस उरुशक्ति व्यर्थयति. Says beautifully. Look. When this is the point comes, tiro bhute swatmani amala tarah. So a person's swatmani, that which is amala tarah, means pure, purer actually. Amala tarah is purer. Tiro bhute is being hidden. And of course, because of what? Mohat. Always everything is there because of the moha. So moha means due to ignorance. Now what happens? Because of this ignorance, anatmanam ahamiti sariram kalpayati. Now aham, what, because of that reason, what the person does? Now starts looking at anatmanam, actually which is not the self. And how it happens? Because coming in contact with the body. Now sariram looks at as me. And of course this happens why? Says beautifully, it is again because of that reason. Now kama tatah, thereafter kama krodha prabhutihi amum bandhana gunehi param. Okay, let us say we will stop there. Then or tatah, thereafter kama krodha prabhutihi starts desire, krodha anger, lobha greed, moha delusion, mada pride, mascharya jealousy. So this is a series, okay? Sadripu, 6 enemies. They come one after another. One comes means other will start following. They are very together, okay? They never get separated, okay? So that is called friendship, okay? Like we have in India, all these oppositions, okay? When there is a crisis, all oppositions come together. However, he says, and what is that? Bandhana gunaihi. So now they have this power of bandhana. So bandhana means they have power to bind. And what is that? How is it? Vikshepakshaha. They are being called as projecting power. And what is that? Rajasaha. Rajasic aspect of Rajas. And of course this is Urusakti. Then what happens? In reality, Purusha or Puman Vyathayati. It literally, Vyathayati means it creates suffering, like pricking. Vyathayati, it will be pricking, okay? It is not only persecutes, it's persecutes which once for all, okay? I am being persecuted, over. There is no persecution, okay? Literally pricking, okay? Suppose I take the help of the needle and starts pricking you. How painful it is. That is how they say very nicely. This is how Chinese started. Because the Chinese are really poor. You do not know. Long back. If I do not know whether you know it or not. Punishing hardcore criminals by water drop. So in the beginning we were thinking it's very interesting. What is big deal it? But it is really painful. Nothing, just they make the person to sit on a chair very comfortably. Not necessary. Sit down, they will tie down hand, leg, everything. Light will be there. And of course, properly you can sit. One drop water will fall on your head. Just one drop. After 1 minute, one drop. This is called punishment. And to whom? Hardcore criminals. Don't you think it's a very amazing, interesting thing or not? Yes, it is an interesting thing for 1 hour, 2 hours. If same thing happens, imagine for 20 hours. Now, as they say very nicely, they increase the gap. From 1 minute, as it is 2 minutes. Now what happens? You are sitting, only you will be looking at, mentally you will thinking, when that drop is going to fall. When that drop is going to fall. It's such a torture. Whether you like it or not, your subconscious mind will come out. Because hardcore criminals will never vomit anything from their conscious mind. Impossible. That's why all this lie detector and whatnot they use to bring out the subconscious mind. So this is called Vyathana. You understand what I am trying to say? Pricking. That's why I gave this example. It is not going to hit once over. That's not going to work. Continuously it starts doing in such a way the real damage happens to me. And once that damage happens, I am good for nothing. Can you see this point? Life is gone. And this is the job of Vikshepa Shakti, the projecting power. And of course, one was Avarana Shakti, other one is Vikshepa Shakti. Okay, we have discussed Tamo Guna and Rajo Guna. Now when these two happens, now what happens? Definitely the person who knows or the person understands, even if I am the purest person, ever effulgent, but I will not be able to understand myself either. Always I will be connected to Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mascharya. Can you see this point? With reference to the objects, I am definitely connected in the terms of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha. I cannot look at object as object. I cannot look at a person as a person. In fact, I cannot look at anything as that thing. Always I have this Vikshepa Shakti. With this projecting power, through the projecting power, I try to look at anything and everything. Okay? Then if that is the case, what happens? Let us see it. Mahamohagraha grasanna galitatma bhagamamno Dhiyo nana avasta soyamabhi nanyasta runataya tadgunataya अपारे संसारे विषय विषपूरे जलनिधौ निमज्जोन्मन्यजायं भ्रमति कुमति कुत्सितगतिः. Look how he says very nicely. Mahamoha graha grasana garita. He just what such a okay. Mahamoha graha grasana garita. That means the person who is, let us say, has been shallowed by grasana, literally, and what is swallowed up by what? Graha. Graha means a shark. Crocodile. Makar also we can take. Crocodile. Moha. Moha is called ignorance. Ignorance is a shark. And what is that ignorance? Maha moha, not ordinary one, okay? Great one. It is not that easy to escape, okay? Especially those who have come, I don't know, many of you have not come. I think those who have not come, our Indian fellows have not come. Next time we should plan to come Orissa Bhitarakanika, okay? Because now in Orissa already we have a setup, so absolutely no problem. Bhubaneswar we have set up, okay? For winter, Orissa is best place. So okay, now book yourself now, okay? Or else there is no place. Very few rooms are there, okay? If you tell me last moment, I'll say sorry, there is no place. Don't tell that Swamiji, I'll manage on the roof, okay? It's not allowed. Joke apart. In Bhitarakanika, which is a beautiful place, wild crocodiles are available. Huge ones, okay? Really huge ones. Moving everywhere. And when you are going in the boat, they will be moving, okay? You will see once in a while passing by. Appa. Imagine if you are being caught with a big one. If small one you can fight, you can manage. You understand? This is my point. If you are being caught with a big one, what will happen to you? Will you be able to escape? That's all. If it is morning time, it will be breakfast. If it is lunch time, it will be lunch. Noon. If it is, of course, afternoon, it will be snacks. That's all, okay? So you are one, but it depends upon the time, what time you are available to them. Now it says beautifully. Now, because of this thing, now, when this ignorance is taken over, or you are under the clause of ignorance, now it says, Atma avagamana dhiyaha nana avastha swayam abhinayam tad gunataya. The Atma avagamana, definitely the self-knowledge of one's own self is being swallowed. Now, what it happens? Very nicely. Now, because the knowledge of one's own self is being shallowed because of this ignorance, then what happens? Now, says beautifully, Dhiyaha Nana Avastam Swayam Abhinayanam. Because of this reason, now mind is not available. And because mind is not available, now the intellect does not have power, dhi buddhi, does not have power to discriminate. Now, based on the state, based on the situation, now the person starts behaving tad gunatayaha as it is attributed to the situation. And of course, in this samsara, Vishaya Visapure is uses this word very strong, these words, okay? Because when the person starts behaving or intellect starts behaving based on the attributes, then automatically those attributes becomes one's own self. So once that becomes oneself, now what happens to that person? He says, look, nimajya ummajya jalanidho. So in the ocean, and which is very difficult to, apare, which doesn't have any shore, wherever you go, there is no end to it. And of course, what sort of ocean this is? Vishaya Vishapure. You just this word. Vishaya Vishapure means full of poison of Vishaya, sense objects, sense pleasures. And there is no end to it. There is no limit to it. So because there is no limit to it, that's why what happens? Definitely, you don't see the other side of it. It is exactly like technology. So technology is always has no end, okay? This especially this iPhones nowadays, okay? Because I must share this, okay? I have to share, okay? There is no end to it. And of course there are people to encourage, okay? Especially encouraging me, okay? So because why I am saying it, so I received one iPhone today, okay? I am openly saying it, okay? So Amiji, you have to update. Anyway, thank you all of you. But where is the end to it, okay? After 1 or 2 years, then that will become outdated or not? There is no end to it. This is the point, nothing else. Because it's good, nothing wrong in it. But please understand, this Vishaya is something, the sense object is something, because from sense object we derive sense pleasure. Can you see this point? Suppose we don't arrive, if we do not derive pleasure from any object, will we be interested in that sense object? So sense objects are useful, meaningful to me as long as I am able to derive some type of pleasure from it. So in short, the sense objects are always looked at as sense pleasure. That is the mistake. As long as we look at sense objects as sense objects, that long absolutely no problem. Can you see this point? But the problem with all of us is always we look at the sense objects as sense pleasure. And these sense pleasures have no limitation. And he uses this word. This is called as samsara saga. Then what happens in that? The person nimajya starts drowning, unmajya waking up, help, or try to see something, catches. You understand? So nimajya umajya, I am this Brahmati kumati, and who is that person? Is a kumati whose mind is diverted, whose mind is deluded. And kuschitagati, this is very sad part, okay? Kuschitagati means whose end is towards bad. Means whose destination is in wrong direction. Whose movement is towards a wrong direction. That's why we say here, once the ignorance takes over, not only the mind is deluded, the worst part is now the intellect starts picking up the attributes of different things and considers that is my attribute, self's attribute, and because of that reason sometimes gets drowned and again jumps up. And of course the person is always trying to look at the shore without finding anything in this ocean of what? poison of sense pleasure. And finally what happens? The person is completely tired and exhausted. And when the person is tired and exhausted, now what happens? Completely lost his direction, and God knows where it ends up. I think I have shared with this example with you people. I have never seen, I have tried to see, but I could not figure it out. Maybe now whether it's there or not, I don't know. We say, especially in summer in Orissa, I have seen it. In fact, I did not believe in the beginning. So to experience that, I spent some time. Finally, I could experience that. Especially in summer, after this paddy field, everything will be empty. And there will be some type of, weeds will come up. And of course, people use that paddy field sometimes, to reach the place or next village or next place quicker. Because if you go by the road, if it takes, let us say, by walk, let us say 3 kilometers, with that you can in 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers you can reach. But interestingly, especially in the evening, this is particular weed, whatever, when it touches the bare feet or some portion of your leg, you lose the direction. How it happens? Really amazing. Because I have lost. Purposefully one day I said, hey, you people are mad, because if some fellow said we have lost. I said, maybe you had taken marijuana. How can you say you will lose it? Because you know you are coming from this direction. You will go to this direction. And very clear lights are available. Everything is there. What is there? From a distance you know your village. What is that? No, we could not. We were going round, 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 round. We know we are wrong. Still. So actually 2-3 times I have tried. It didn't happen. Then finally I was caught. And to be very honest, this is my personal experience. I saw it. But I could not, problem is I could not make out what is that, weed. It would have been a great help. Maybe I should spend a lot of time with the elderly people. I could have got it. Forget. Interestingly, what I had experienced is, okay, it was some of the portion of my leg somewhere. God knows how it did. The mind was, literally lost. Whether I came from this direction or that direction. Whether to go to this side or that side. Unnecessarily around, more than 700 to 800 meters, square meter, I was going round. In fact, 3-4 of us, we are going round. And we all are talking, hey, I think we are wrong. No, it is this, right. So one fellow says, right, we go. Then after, no, it is not right, hey, you are wrong. Okay, you tell that person, okay, let us go this way. Then after some time again, we'll go back. We spent more than 1.5 hours. After that, I said, hey, enough. You do whatever you want to do. Let me lie down. Because I had those days a bad problem. If anything happens, wherever, I will lie down. That's why I had picked up this style. You understand? Wherever I get a chance, I just lie down. I said, do you guys whatever you want to do. I let me down. Some say snake will be there. I said, let me lie down. I want to lie down. You do guys do whatever you want. This is my place. Let me lie down. So when I lie down, they didn't have any other choice. In fact, they were reluctantly so sad. I really slept off half an hour. After wake up, I was impressed. They were talking something. I said, okay, now let us go. Let us go let us go in this direction. They said, are you sure? I said, yes, I am 100% sure. Now I am 100% sure. And we could reach. Imagine the known place, known terrain. Things are visible. But because of some, let us say, weed or some type of poison or some type of chemical changes, we are sure but not yet sure. Can you see this point? We know we did not know. So how we spent lot of time to arrive at a point, but we could not. Same way also people waste their life. How we start our life? What are we doing? That's why we say we need to see the growth for ourselves. The growth is not external, the internal growth in me. If the internal growth is not there in me, then what is the purpose of my life? Can you see this point? The purpose of life is to see my growth. And as long as I am not able to see my growth, that means I do not know where I am traveling. It is exactly like cycling without cycling, running without running. Your treadmill, okay? You run without running. It's a very pathetic situation. In our life we do that. That's why the smile in me is nothing but my growth. Can you see this point? And the more I am able to smile at me, not smile at others, the more I am able to smile at me, the more I see the growth in me. That's why seeing the smile for one's own self, not showing the smile, okay? You understand? I'm not talking about that. Here, when this is there, then what happens? Let us look at the next verse. Bhanu prabha sanjanita brahma pankti Bhanum tirodhaya vijrumbhate yatha Atmoditaham krutiratma tattvam Tatha tirodhaya vijrumbhate swayam. Says, look how it happens. He gives the example of cloud. Abrahma panktihi. So this, how this Abrahma, this cloud starts getting generated, getting created. From what? Bhanu prabhaha sanjanitaha. So the clouds are being generated, formed because of what? Bhanu, from the sun, and the sun of what? Prabha, rays. Because sun rays, it creates heat. It evaporates the water. That is how the cloud is born. Now what happens? It is born because of Surya Rasmi, Bhanu Prabha. But what it does? Bhanum tirodhaya. It covers Surya. Can you see this point? The cloud is formed by the Surya's ray. Now, once it is being formed, same cloud does the first job is what? To cover the Surya and Surya Rasmi, the rays also. So also here what happens is, look how it happens. Yatha, same thing also. Atma udita aham kruti. Aham kruti, the ego. Aham karomi iti. That I do, the ego, the I sense. Is origin, it has come from what? In whose presence this exists? Because of the self, because of me. Now what it does? The moment ego comes, it first starts covering whom? The self. So that means what? The worst part is, we'll see next. In the next verse, I think it will come. Yes, it will come. Yes. But let me talk this point. How this cloud formed by or because of the presence of Surya, sun, cloud is being formed and exists. Now it first covers the Surya. Not only it covers the Surya, the sun, Later on also it shows its effect. How? Suddenly you feel cold, especially in mountains. The moment cloud is being covered, what happens? Do you feel then and there cold or not? In Himalayas, really. As long as sun is there, it's very hot. The moment it is covered, you feel cold, especially when you go to Gomukh and other higher levels. It's an amazing thing to feel. If sun is there, you sweat. If there is a cloud covered, you start shivering. So you do not know what to do. So how that impact comes then and there. Same thing also the I, the ego, is there because of the self. Now the same ego takes over covers of the I, now presents and shows its own attribute and impact to the society, to others. How the cloud, and of course cloud will do one more step ahead. If it starts raining, you know better what hell you go through, what difficulties you go through in mountains. So how it happens? If you are in Chennai, you will enjoy, okay? Because in Chennai, if you see Kaveri river, you will do 10 times namaskaram, okay? Kaveri is coming, okay? Whereas here, you don't look at, okay, Ma Ganga, from a distance, namaste. You be there wherever, I am wherever, okay? And people, what they do? But so cold, unless you are in Rishikesh or down below, then you enjoy Ganga, because it's so hot now in Rishikesh, you can jump into Ganga at least, okay? However, how it happens? Then he is trying to talk how this both Vikshepa Shakti and Avarana Shakti, in short, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, affects ourselves. Let us look at these two verses. Kabalita dinanathe duddine sandrameghe व्यथयति हिव झंझावा युग्रयो यथीतान् अविरत तमसात्मन्यावृते मूढ़बुद्धिम् क्षपयति बहुदुःखैस्तीव्र विक्षेप शक्तिः. Says beautifully. Same example, already we have discussed. Dinanathe kabalite dudine sandra meghihi. So if the Dinanatha means other name of Surya. Natha means Swami, the Lord of the day, because of whose presence Dina comes. Day starts. Dinanatha, one name of Surya. So Dinanatha, Dudine means when the day is not that good, a cloudy day. Sandra Meghi means really dark black color cloud, okay? Dense cloud, dark. Sandra Meghi means, let us say we say, rain holding, what they say, rain holding cloud or what say? Very nice something is there. That the cloud has got with full of rains, that black cloud, okay? So that because here very nicely, seeing the cloud here, people will say whether it's going to rain or not. Here local people seeing just the cloud say okay, it's going to rain. Very nice experience local people have, and also they will be able to say which day it rains, how many days it will continue. All the calculation they do have here. Okay, however, Sandra Meghi. Now what happens? Starts Bethayati, starts creating some type of pain, some type of worry, some type of, affliction. And how? Hima Jhanja Vayu. This is a typical, mountain example. Of course, in Chennai you don't enjoy. In fact, you don't suffer, you enjoy more. Hima Jhanja Vayu. The moment cloud comes in. Now, somewhere it starts raining, then the wind becomes very cool. So cold starts increasing, cold blasting, and Ugraha, in Ugra Rupa, it starts, you start shivering, really it becomes very strong. You start, how it happens? Says beautifully, same way. Etan abhirata tamasaha atmani abrute mudha buddhim kshapayati bahudukhe. Very strong word he uses. As it happens in that way, the Surya who was really creating lot of heat giving, suddenly it's been covered by rain cloud. Now because of that it's rain cloud, now you start feeling cold, and of course the cold wind starts coming in, then really you cannot tolerate, so you start shivering, you do not know what to do. So also, when the Atma oneself is being covered by what? By tamasa, then what happens? Automatically, because of this reason, then definitely Vikshepa Saktihi. So Vikshepa Saktihi means this projecting power takes over the person, and because of that reason, please understand, the person mind becomes Mudha Buddhim, gets deluded, and of course because of that reason, Bahu Tibraha Bahu Dukheihi, and because of that reason, definitely the person ends up, a person comes across different type of afflictions, different type of problems, and of course Tibra very quickly. So in short, the Vikshepa Sakti and veiling power, Avarana Sakti, first Avarana Sakti, which actually covers up, then projection comes. When these two joins, in short, Tama predominant, Raja secondary. You understand? And Sattva namesake. But three has to be there, no choice, okay? That is the problem for all of us. Let us look at next verse so that we'll stop it. Etabhyam eva saktibhyam bandha punsa samagatah yabhyam vimohito deham matvatmanam brahmatyayam. Good. So if we look at very clearly, Atmanam Brahmati Ayam. So now if you look at, the self starts wondering. How? Because Vimohita Deham Matva. So that is delusion. And how the delusion happens? Matva Atman, Deham Matva Atmanamiti. The person considers, the person takes up, the person thinks Deham, the body, as self. When the person looks at the body as self, then of course the person starts wandering. Brahmati, he keeps wandering. And where he keeps wandering? Life to life. Means you die, again you have to born. As long as you look at yourself, your body as you, then what will happen? I'll come to the point with this, that's why. That's why he says beautifully, Etabhyam sakti eva saktibhyam. This is bandha. Bandha means bondage comes. Why? Because of etabhyam saktibhyam. These two saktis, these two powers. What are they? Avarana Sakti and Vikshepa Sakti. Tamo Guna and Rajo Guna. So these two create such a situation. Because of that reason, a person considers the body as what? One's own self. And as long as the person considers our mistakes, believes body as me, definitely that person wonders life after life. How? Very simple. When I look at this body as me, now related to the body or whatever, whoever gives comfort to the body or takes care of the body, will I give importance to them or not? Definitely. Now, in order to protect my body, I have to protect them first. Because unless I protect them, my body will not be protected. It's like olden days, now these things have changed, okay? Why you are going to have a child? Somebody asked somebody, why do you want to have a child? Because when I become old, he will take care of me. Till now in India is there, okay? That's why every family wants a male child. Because male child will stay with me, girl will go away to other family. So I want to have a child, not for anything, not to allow the child to grow, but to take care of me when I am old. Can you see? That is what everybody thinking. And a lot of complaint comes, okay? Hey, look, when he was a child, she was a child, I took care of. Now they don't bother anything, they don't give a telephone call. And if you ask that fellow or fellow, what about it? Who asked them to give me birth? Did I ask? You know what they will talk. I don't want to talk more than that, okay? Because I remember one incident. I cannot share publicly, okay? What I am highlighting here is, now to take care of my body, I take care of many things. It is exactly the joke of car. I buy a car to go to the office. Fantastic. That's a good logic. Then why you are going to the office? You are tired of always you are complaining about office. Why are you going to the office? So that I will take care of the EMI of the car. You understand? You buy a car to go to the office. Now you are complaining about office, then don't go to the office. No, if I don't go to the office, then how can I take care of the EMI of the car? Can you see how we are caught up? This is just an example set. Some way or other, we are caught up in this manner. And because we are caught up in this manner, this body is being considered as me. Remember, unless and until I dissociate myself from this body, I will not be able to dissociate with the sense objects, with the people related to me. Then unsettled account will remain. Then I have to again come back to settle my account. That's why we say all relationship is based on what? Purva runanubandhita. All relationship is related to previous life relationship. Either you have indebted or somebody is indebted. Either you have to pay for it, you understand? Or you are paid for it. There is no other excuse, I am sorry to say. That's why always we look at life in this way. Hey, let me pay for it, okay? You understand? Let me pay for it. That's why he says, as long as you are connected or you have mistaken body as me, that long you will be keep wandering. Means life after death. Don't worry, after death life will come. Again it will continue. Till you really look at the body as body. More of it will see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.